Kenny Johnson from Ring TV with the legendary Kathy Duva. Kathy, tell us, how's that Sergey Kovalev business going?
Right now it's going pretty well, thank you. It's a good business to do.
Talk about just how his rise went from like 3 years ago, I didn't even know who he was, and I've covered boxing for a living, to now. Can you expand upon that?
Well, you know, main events has handled lots of big fighters in the past. My husband taught me. We had Vander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, and Cornell Whitaker. Moving on, was Arturo Gatti and Fernando Vargas. And, you know, there was a lot of big stars at main events. And I was the publicist, so I learned how to do it. I always tell everybody, I know how to move a guy. The guy's got to do what we want him to do. And Sergey came along and said, I will take the fights. Agus, his manager, said, you know, we'll take the fights for the money that's available. We aren't going to second guess your decisions. We want the best fights we can get against the most challenging opponents because he's in a hurry and he wants to make a big name for himself. So I said, okay, if you're willing to play by those rules, then just Jolene made the fights. I was able to make the deals partly because we were willing to go to the opponent's hometowns, partly because we were willing to share the card with other promoters and not try to control everything. The day will come when we'll be in control, and we're getting close, but that's what you have to do. You have to know how to work from a weakness, and we did.
Can you talk about also how this Andre Ward situation, do you feel, of course you know the boxing business better than me, but do you feel that there shouldn't be any hiccups if he wins and everybody stays healthy, that they should finally get it on in November?
Well, like I said before, this is boxing. I'm never going to say there won't be any hiccups. In fact, if there were no hiccups, that would be unusual. But we just, we made a deal a year ahead of time. A lot can go wrong. Sergey would have fought him tonight if Ward had agreed. But Ward wanted the tune-ups. So he's getting his tune-ups. In the meantime, Sergey's staying busy because he likes to be busy. And just keep moving forward, keep our head down and keep moving forward and hope it all works out.
As you said, the deal's already been in place. Does it make how's it hard is it to be a promoter for him? Not necessarily because of him, but the fact that people are dodging him. Other than Andre Ward, I haven't heard nobody say, I want to fight Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah, well, the day will come when that will stop because we're climbing that ladder. When he gets to the point where he's bringing the money, it'll get easier to find opponents. The reason Andre Ward was willing to fight him, in addition to the fact that Andre's a great warrior and a great competitor and wants to test himself, is that Andre can make the most money fighting Sergey of anyone that he could fight right now. Vice versa. So I'm not as worried. I'm actually starting to see a little more light. We had a situation for the last year where there was a flood of money coming into the marketplace that was not part of the marketplace, and that threw a lot off. But you know what? As those there are a lot of good light heavyweights, and the theory is if you gobble up the titles, they're going to have to come here if they want to be world champion. And he gets into that pay-per-view level and he beats Andre Ward, even if he doesn't. I think the light heavyweight division really could replace the welterweights as the place where all the money is. And when you get there and you're in that, nobody says, hey, I don't want to fight Floyd Mayweather, or hey, I don't want to fight Manny Pacquiao. They get in line to do it. Even if they don't think they can win, they get in line to do it. So those problems, they take care of themselves in the end if he keeps winning. That's his job.
And going by that theory, with you promoting Barrera tonight, it feels pretty confident for main events. The fact that y'all have two of those top fighters in that weight class already, and probably got some more just trying to sign up for you that you didn't let us know that you want to let Ring TV know right now exclusively.
Well, you know what? It's not a coincidence that we signed Sullivan. When I believe, and I learned from my husband, when you've got the man in the division, it's your responsibility as a promoter to develop talent to beat him, to fight him, to fight him and maybe beat him. That's part of my job. So we have worked with him and with Isaac Shalemba, and we had didn't work out as well as we hoped. Lepikin from Russia. We've been having our eye out for light heavyweights and wanting to sign them because we felt that we did put a lot of them on our ABC series a couple years ago because we wanted to build a profile and put them in a position so that when they got to that platform where they were going to fight for the title, people would be interested in the fight. And that's what's happened with Sullivan. We were kind of grooming him to fight Sergey, but as it turned out, the Ward opportunity popped up first. So to Sullivan's credit, he said, I've got a chance like this, of course I'm going to take it. And to his credit, he took it. And we'll see what happens tonight. This is his shot at the brass ring.
Well, it's safe to say that War Barrera is a win-win for main events. And this is about boxing, but not about the fighters. With all the promotional awards and stuff like that, and with you being a professional businesswoman that's been in this game for decades, does it make you feel good the fact that your company's basically not in the middle? It's kind of like y'all on the side, y'all Switzerland, y'all neutral.
I don't know if we're totally Switzerland, but you know what, that's hard to be. And you know what, I kind of like, I don't admire Switzerland. Now, you know, you do have to take a stand, but and I think everybody knows what side we're on. But having said that,
what side is that?
Well, we're obviously on in the HBO axis. There's no doubt about that. But I think that if you're not going to hold back your fighters' careers, you have to be willing to work with other promoters. That's the nature of this business. You have to sit down with somebody and make a deal with them across a table. Advocate for yourself. They advocate for themselves. You come to an agreement. You work together to make the fight happen cooperatively, and then you have to sit down when the bell rings and root against each other. That's there's not too many businesses where you have to work with and against your competitors at the same time. It's hard to do, but that is what this business is about. So the way I feel about it, I am not a mega promoter. I have no ambition to sign up 100 fighters or 200 fighters. That's my idea of a nightmare. What I want to do is do a really great job for a small group of guys who know how to fight and are willing to go out there and take on the real challenges. Those are the only fighters I want to work with, and so therefore I can't do in-house fights, and I have to be able to work with everybody, and I am. I do it all the time.
And then, on a personal side, who's the hardest person to do business with right now in the boxing game?
No, I'm not going to say that. No way.
And that's why these, since like you make, I'm not gonna say sporadic appearances, but we see you, but we don't see you, but we do see you. Since you got the forum, what's something you want to let boxing fans know on here on Ring TV since you got the floor?
I want to let them know that they should watch the fight tonight because it's going to be terrific. They should follow Sergey Kovalev and watch him as he moves forward, and just keep your eye on Ring TV and all the other boxing websites because we have a lot of talent coming up. We're moving forward in the future. We're going to be making moves soon, and we're having a lot of fun. So I hope everybody's going to have fun with us.